It's always the difficult questions that we are trying to answer in zombies, the ones that are secretive, that we find through radios or ciphers or miscellaneous quotes. But there are some things that are there, right in front of us, every single time you play a game of zombies, that you just don't question. That because I suppose you're so used to it, it's normal. But when you think about it, it's really not. The mystery box. Why does it change location? What causes it to do that? We know a little bit more about it now because a lot of stuff was revealed to us in Black Ops 3 Zombies, but all of that knowledge relates to the old storyline between World War II Black Ops 4, but we still have the mystery box now in Black Ops Cold War Zombies, Vanguard, Modern Warfare 3 and Black Ops 6, where the same entities who were involved in how the mystery box worked, Dr. Monty, don't exist anymore. Yet, the mystery box still does. And it's the same with the chalk drawings of the weapons on the walls and the perks. How does all of this work? Well, taking you back to the beginning before we and even the characters in game, Richtof and Takio, Nikolai and Dempsey, knew anything about the mystery box, we all thought it came from Samantha. Because she was in control of the zombies, you could hear her laughing when the box changes location and her teddy bear appears from within it. All of the signs pointed towards Samantha Maxis being the one who manipulates it, and our characters in game thought the exact same thing.
Your time will come to an end, little girl.
Samantha, didn't I teach you a lesson about this? That dreadful little girl continues to make my life difficult.
There are multiple quotes you can find in Black Ops 1 Zombies, especially from Ultimus Richtofen, just because he has more knowledge on what's going on than the other Ultimus characters. There were many times when he blamed Samantha for the mystery box, and even in Origins, the Primus version of Richtofen, this was before he came into contact with Dr. Monty and knew anything about his existence, even the Primus version of Richtofen still thought it was Samantha who gave them the mystery box.
You're simply trying to make my life difficult, aren't you?
Everything pointed towards it being her, so for a very long time that was the conclusion that we had come to, and it made sense. Almost, because there was one big plot hole, and that was, well, the whole point of the mystery box was to aid our characters, to give them weapons which would allow them to kill the zombies and survive. Yet Samantha Maxis at that time was in control of the zombies, sending them to kill us. So for her to also give those same characters she was trying to kill a box of weapons to help them survive, you can see is contradictory. But if the characters believed it was Samantha, and all of the other evidence pointed towards it being her who supplied it to us, then that was the answer. Until Origins, where Dr. Maxis began to question things.
When 115 is channeled towards the ancient stones, an energy field appears to drag unknown objects into our reality. Is it possible that element 115 is disrupting the space-time continuum itself? How else could an ancient box, created eons ago, bring forth weapons from different eras, perhaps including even our own future? Further study is needed to understand these powerful and unpredictable forces.
Because Origins was a part of a different timeline, the Primus timeline in Dimension 63, this version of Maxis didn't yet have a daughter, meaning Samantha wasn't in control of the zombies. Yet, we still had the box, and the question that Maxis was asking was, how could the mystery box, this ancient weapons box, exist and bring forth weapons from different eras? Why did the mystery box in a map that takes place in 1918 give us weapons from the future? Now, we know the in-game answer is, well, Black Ops 2 takes place in the year 2025, and every weapon that we have in Zombies is from the campaign and multiplayer, so all weapons are shared between all three modes, which is the actual reason we have futuristic weapons in Zombies. But when it comes to the lore, Maxis was asking the question, why does an ancient box give us weapons from present day and the future? How is that even possible? And the conclusion he came to was that it was to do with element 115 disrupting the space-time continuum. But it wasn't until Gorod Karovi where the origins of the mystery box was finally explained to us.
Where do you think all these magic weapon boxes come from? The chalk drawings on the wall, the magic ammo drops, the gumball machines? Do I need to go on, or do you get the message? I just hope you appreciate it. You see, the thing is, I'm meant to stay on the sidelines, not really supposed to get involved. Free will and all that stuff. Oh, that was my idea, by the way. However, I do see stuff now and then that makes me go, ooh, that's not good. I really should do something. But the thing is, all I can really do is give things a little nudge. Sow a seed, plant an idea, see what grows. See what sticks. The minute you people teleported for the first time, you changed the rules. How am I supposed to keep track if you keep moving the pieces? Even when you were just a little problem, brewing in the far corner of existence, I tried to throw you a bone or two. I told you this, didn't I? The magic box of weapons, the little clues here and there. I always tried to give you a little help, without drawing too much attention to myself. The thing is, though, I can't just magic things out of thin air. I have to manipulate things that already exist in your reality. Like the perk drinks. They were something originally cooked up by Group 935. I just used them for my own ends. I honestly don't even know how they work. I swear. As for the songs, don't get me started.
So all along, from the very beginning, World at War, Black Ops 1, BO2, BO3, it was Dr. Monty who gave us the mystery box, along with the chalk drawings of the weapons on the walls, the power-ups, of course his gobblegum machine. All of this was given to us by Dr. Monty, and the reason he says he did this, besides from him wanting to aid our survival, was also to give us little clues that he existed. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, and the reason I wanted to make it is, well, this is something we never really questioned. We all just came to the simple conclusion that it was Samantha Maxis, because she was in control of the zombies. It's her laugh that you hear when the box gets taken away. You see her teddy bear there, so it must have been her. But you have to admit, the mystery box doesn't fit in with the rest of Call of Duty Zombies. What we see here, what we see happen with it, is, well, to put it simply, a random weapons box that can give you guns from the future, that can also float away on itself and disappear and then randomly reappear elsewhere. That's the work of a higher power. Yet the idea of a higher power was never really conceived in World at War, Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2. But the one thing Monty does make clear is that he can't just magic things out of thin air. He could only manipulate things that already existed in reality. For example, the perk machines. They were created by groups such as Group 935 and the Ascension Group, and all Dr. Monty did was transport those perks to wherever our characters were going. And the same applies to the mystery box. All of these weapons, the box itself, the teddy bear, all existed in our reality. Monty just packed all of these guns into this box and moved it to wherever our characters needed. But that doesn't tell us then why the mystery box moves, because surely if Dr. Monty was providing us the box to help us out, why once you spin it a few times, does it just disappear and change location? And well, in Revelations, Richtofen says this:
I suppose such random elements are beyond Monty's control.
So he tells us that the box's random elements, such as it giving us random weapons and it randomly deciding to fly away and change location, is all out of Monty's control. He gave us the box, but in terms of the weapons it gives us and it disappearing, seems to be because the box almost has a mind of its own. We don't know exactly what causes it to do this, but Takio does say this:
the box moves as if guided by the spirits.
He thinks the box moves as if it's guided by spirits. We know that function has nothing to do with Dr. Monty. Is it just because the box is transported through space-time and is unstable?
Believe me, I'm not unfamiliar with objects slipping and shifting through space and time.
Or are there other spirits there which caused the box to act up? I'd be minded to think the former. So you would think that's mystery solved then, right? It was given to us by Dr. Monty. He was the one who transported it to different maps. The laugh that you hear when the box moves location has nothing to do with who provides it to you, because in some maps, like I said, you hear Samantha's laugh. In other maps, you hear Brutus's laugh. In Alpha Omega, you hear the Avogadro. Yet we know the box was given to us by Dr. Monty, so the teddy bear inside of it and the laugh means nothing. And that's fine, that's a valid answer. Until you get to Black Ops Cold War, where we know at the end of BO4, Dr. Monty was banished to the Dark Ether. He seemingly no longer held the power he once did. We don't even know if Dr. Monty still exists within the Dark Ether in Black Ops Cold War and so on. He could do, there's a possibility. Monty wasn't a normal being, he wouldn't have succumbed to old age. He could have succumbed to other creatures in the Dark Ether, such as the Forsaken, or even the Undead, but at the same time, he may not have. We just don't know what happened to Dr. Monty after he was banished to the Dark Ether. He could be dead, he could be alive, but he shouldn't hold the same power he once did. He shouldn't be able to provide us with the mystery box anymore. Yet in Cold War, Vanguard, MW3, In Black Ops 6, we still have the mystery box. So if it's not Monty that's providing it anymore, then who is? Because we've learned that it has to come from a higher power, right? And just in case anyone's wondering, hang on, well if Dr. Monty was the one providing us with the mystery box, why in Alpha Omega and Tagdo Totem when we were trying to kill him, did we still have the mystery box in those maps? Surely, if Monty wanted to stop us from destroying the multiverse, which would mean he was banished to the Dark Ether, he wouldn't provide us with the mystery box. And that's simply a question that we don't have an answer to. If Monty gave us the mystery box in Alpha Omega and Tagdo Totem, that makes no sense because he would be aiding his death essentially. And if he didn't give them to us, then who did? How did the box end up in those two maps? It was either still Monty, which would be weird, no one, if that's even possible, or someone else, but the only being of even relatively similar power in the old timeline was the Shadow Man, and he was trapped inside of the summoning key. Could it have possibly have been the Keepers, because we do know they had the ability to manipulate the ether and travel between dimensions? If they could do that themselves, then they could also transport chalk drawings and magical box weapons. I don't know. Getting back to who gives us the mystery box in Black Ops Cold War Zombies though, through intel that we can find in this game, there is one document which is from Zykov when he was trapped inside the Dark Ether. We know Zykov is the Forsaken. At the time he wrote this, he was pretending, tricking our characters, manipulating them in a way to help free him. But after being trapped in the Dark Ether for 6,289 days, he said, "Found another device today, a kind I have not seen before. Like my drink machine, this one is too damaged to function, and it's definitely not for drinks. Disassembling it in my workshop now. Best guess is it is some kind of a kiln or a crucible. Excited by the possibilities. Have applied everything I learned from repairing the drinks machine, but still cannot fix, considering looking for help." We know the machine he is talking about is the Pack-a-Punch machine, so Zykov confirms within the Dark Ether are things that were banished there at the end of Black Ops 4, such as the perk machines and the Pack-a-Punch. We learn from a few other documents that some of the mysterious things we see in Outbreak, such as the dragon and the crates, were actually sent to us by Zykov from the Dark Ether. We weren't sure who was providing us with all of these things and helping our characters out to aid their survival, and it turns out it was him. Dr. Gray said, whenever our strike team deploys, they encounter numerous machines, crafting stations and utility crates that have facilitated their survival, beverages with psychological effects, a kiln of sorts, which is the Pack-a-Punch, and a computer that awards prizes. All evidence points towards Zykov as our mystery benefactor. It seems he does wish to help us, but to what ends remains the question. So in the old timeline, it would have been Dr. Monty that was giving us all of this stuff. Yes, they were created by Jebediah Brown and Group 935, but Monty transported them from place to place, and in our new storyline, it is Zykov that gave us the Pack-a-Punch machine and gave us the mystery box. Whilst in the Dark Ether, he transported them to our characters to help them out. As far as I'm aware, I swear years ago when Cold War came out, I read a piece of intel on this somewhere, but I've been through all of the Cold War system again, and I just can't find it anywhere, so maybe I'm imagining things. I could have sworn I read intel on the mystery box specifically, and the chalk drawings of weapons on the walls, because that's not mentioned here. Even though we know the Forsaken was the one who gave us the perk machines and the Pack-a-Punch, does that mean he also gave us the chalk drawings of weapons on the walls and the mystery box as well? Because if so, did he essentially replace Dr. Monty? No, because from what I could gather, the Forsaken was simply transporting items that existed within the Dark Ether and then giving them to us, whereas Dr. Monty actually had the ability to transport items through dimensions, through time and space, but because the multiverse doesn't exist in this new storyline, the Forsaken can't do that. Knowing the Forsaken gave us these things, it would be right to think he could have been the one giving us the mystery box in Cold War Zombies then, but in Modern Warfare 3 Zombies, which takes place in the future when the Forsaken is no longer in power in the Dark Ether, well, we don't think so anyway. We have yet to get Black Ops 6 Zombies and see what unravels in the storyline there, but the mystery box still exists in that game. I've already said the announcer has no relevance, so we can't take anything away from that, but let's just say if it was the Forsaken who gave us the box in Cold War, well, who's given it to us in Modern Warfare 3 Zombies? Who gave it to us in Vanguard Zombies? Who will be supplying it to us in Black Ops 6 Zombies? Because the Forsaken's supposed to be contained. If it is a higher power that has control over the box to a certain extent, we have also learnt that there's a lot of randomness involved with it as well, how it can just change location at will. Even that was an element that Monty himself couldn't control. Maybe that's the answer. No one is controlling the mystery box and it just has a mind of its own. As Takio said, it's controlled by the spirits. It's the same for the war weapons. That's magic. Being able to purchase a weapon off the wall, that's the power of a higher being. But again, who? Is there the chance that Monty still has something to do with it? I mentioned earlier, we don't know what's happened to him. He could be dead, but until it's confirmed, we don't actually know. So there we go. We have an answer from World at War 2 Black Ops 3. It was Dr. Monty, but from the end of Black Ops 4, and especially from Cold War up until now, it could have been the Forsaken, but it could also, and that looks to be the case in Black Ops 6, be someone else who has this kind of power. So there we go. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, hopefully you've enjoyed the video today. If you have, drop a like rating. Make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest content on the channel. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, goodbye.